What's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica from the Classic Clown blog. Try and knock this out real quick before I go to his house. Again, I already see you on the comments. Economic Ninja Channel. Relax. I get it. YouTube is pushing the shit out of him, and we get it. We got it. We understand. Great. Uh, there's an algorithm, and it works, and I'm okay with it as long as YouTube would play the algorithm equally, but it doesn't. So listen, drop in the comments your city and state in the chat. And again, the glare is just going to be there because the way we're parked, it is what it is. So you're just your girl Ericka Williams from the Classic Clown blog. Why did I create a YouTube channel? Why am I here? Again, I've been documenting my journey in business and in life for about 8 years now, and it's been a blast. I've raised money for its millions, sold. I've had over 15,000 students in my classes, in our database. We keep coming up with new creative ways to keep being on this platform, and so here I am. September 2nd, 7th next week, I'll be in Detroit, Michigan, speaking on stage about my adventures in Detroit, of course. And then also we will have I have a interview time with Anton Daniels next week. So you guys should see that either live or after we're done recording, whichever one. Then I have an event in Las Vegas later this year. Next year we have 2 big Texas events, and then you girls want to some other projects. So you see the title. I need you to become a business ninja or business samurai or economic ninja. And yes, she has a good name on it, but I got that actually from the Financial Samurai blog that's been out for about 10 years now. And I know blogging is not everyone's favorite type of format. Some people don't like to read. That just is what it is. Can't do anything about that. A lot of people like to hear audio or visual content, and that's fine too. And so part of what I wanted to say is finance is the language of the elite only if people don't learn it. I said it again. Finance is the language of the elite only if people don't learn it. So the last night I watched an oldie but goodie movie called Trading Places, and everyone loves the movie. They think it's comical, it's stupid, it's slapstick humor. It's when Dan Aykroyd and all them were young, and Eddie Murphy, and you could just get away with saying anything because it was that time when movies could get away with saying anything. Now, at the end, people are most confused. They don't understand the buy low, buy high, sell low. They didn't understand what was going on. So long and the story short, it's a great movie. And the most important part, most people didn't understand. Like the whole point of the movie. How they get the get back. How they really hit it up. How they really run the bag up. That's the part of the movie most folks were so confused about. And again, go ask Diamond Dave about Trading Places if you want to. It's a good little conversation. But part of their test was, oh my God, him being poor caused him to be angry, insane, deranged. Yes. And that's a real life experiment right now in America. If you go in many cases, some of these nowhere towns and rural parts of America, you have a lot of angry, frustrated white males. In the news you've seen recently, a Asian student shooting an Asian professor, right? You've seen a white man shooting up a Family Dollar. Why? You've seen a white man today got caught trying to go to a black church because it is a I'm angry. I don't want to be accountable for my life, so someone even must play, right? Yes, John, exactly. It's blazing saddles in a suit. And so here are 3 principles you guys gotta love, kind of stand by, that I love. It's money loves speed, wealth loves time, and poverty loves indecision. One of the things that always blew my mind when I was helping people at the homeless shelter do resumes or just things to help them get into different programs, the amount of indecision. Well, I don't know. Maybe I should wait. Maybe I should do that later. Maybe I should do this sometime. Maybe I should do this over here. Maybe. And you're like, sir. The first step is this. A, then B, then C, right? And so what happens is the more you go online and you start working in these internet spaces, you see that a lot of poverty comes from indecision, right? People lack of getting married, lack of buying a home, lack of doing this. And a lot of times when you have the conversation with them, it's not that they're not financially in a position. They haven't had 2 years tax return. They don't qualify for programs to get down payment assistance. They don't not have $1,000 to put on a new construction house that a builder requires. They have indecision. And indecision leads from 1 year to 5 years to 10 years to 15 to 20 years. And now 20 years later, they're still indecisive. They're just an older indecisive person. And yet it's caused them so much pain. Very simple. It's very simple. And so I had several notes. Okay. I got on the back and forth of these two papers. So again, finance is the language of the elite. Only if you don't learn it. You should embrace being uncomfortable once or twice a month or once or twice a week, honestly, and learning information that you're like, oh man, it's a little dry, this is a little boring. Why do I need to know this? Because every day there's some football player, there's some regular guy who gets scammed or gets taken advantage of by a lawyer, by a financial advisor, by a tax accountant, accounting firms. And you'll always say, what happened? Oh, I just didn't know. Nobody told me. I wasn't informed. I didn't learn this. And again, we live kind of in a culture where, yeah, just specialize. Just do this one thing really great and then throw your money to somebody else. No, you have to be heavily invested hands-on with your retirement. And this is why I say this. We're teaching people to be very specialized in America when back in the day, your grandparents could fix stuff, climb on roofs, fix boats, a garden. They could bust out some tools, fix stuff in their house. They didn't have this imaginary, I'm specialized at sitting at a desk typing on a computer. And now when I come home, I have to call other men to come to my house to fix stuff. They didn't do that, right? Same thing with women. Like a lot of these women are like, why are cookbooks the number one seller? Because one, their mom didn't do anything for them to understand cooking books or cookbooks. Another thing is they didn't have this opportunity to observe cooking, right? So a lot of times, this is a problem, okay? This is just a problem, okay? So the specialization ideal that came out of the 80s and 90s when kids were leaving high school and trying to push them to the college pipeline has been very dangerous for our country. Just say it that way. Because we think it's someone else's job to make sure we retire. We think it's somebody else's job to make sure we are financially okay for our future. We think it's somebody else's job to provide us a home or whatever, right? And so this is why you have couples who get in these massive arguments where the husband and wife are both making good money, but then they're struggling, they're living paycheck to paycheck, and you're like, what's going on? Well, they've got a house full of crap that they never use, and they go on countless vacations, and there's no balance to it. And so even now, I'm purging like 1/3 of my closet. One, weight loss has come down some. Two, some of these items are out of date. And three, I want different clothes to get different responses, to get different reactions when I go out or do events, period. Right. And so in order for me to bring more new things in, I got to let go of some stuff. And that's most of life. Wanting stuff, getting stuff, and getting rid of stuff. Okay. So there are seasons of semi-work, full-time, part-time. And the best example of this is go check out the Financial Samurai's blog. He made a big stink about being able to, I retired, he just made a decision in 2017 after working in I'm talking about high income, 250,000, 300,000 a year, 300,000 plus a year jobs in California, San Francisco, being able to invest in some rentals, being able to start the Financial Samurai blog, write a book, be able to stay home with his kids. His oldest kid is 6 now, his son, and his younger daughter is 3. Well, because he realizes his wife went overseas to Japan to help her family do some things, right? And so what did he do? He realizes I need to go back to work because I've been sitting here and now the kids don't need me as much. They're going into school. One's going into preschool. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. Couples that work together, it's very like they have to have very separate kind of arrangements. To have two people in a relationship both retired for the past 6 years, that's a lot, right? So the biggest thing is he's going back to work. Now there's several Instagrammers, YouTubers, entrepreneurs that are going back to work. And I don't look at it as failure. And here's why. Just for the record, 96% of all companies have less than 2 employees. Again, sorry, this month. 96% of all companies have less than 2 employees. 26.5 million companies have 10 to 20 employees. So 9 times out of 10, you're not working for some company that's got 5,000 people in the building. You're not even working for a company that's got 500 people in the building. You're working for some of these companies that have 10 to 30 people. A lot of these startups are like, everybody got rich at Facebook. No, the top 100 people got rich at Facebook. The first 100, right? Like Noah Kagan's claim to fame here in Austin is the fact that he was number 4 hired at Facebook. And then he was the same at, was it Meta? It was Facebook, and he got hired on Apple or Google, one of the two. He was very young in the game, and he got fired. And so he is always talking about ways to start $1 million business in a weekend. And many of y'all think, Ericka, you're full of shit. There's no way you can start $1 million business in a weekend. And there's so much I could train and teach y'all on. And again, what did I say? Poverty is from indecision. Wealth loves time, and money loves speed. And so a lot of these trainings out there, and I've talked about this in the Middleman to Millions course, you can train in a weekend or a whole week and turn around and make $1 million in a company. Okay, that's gross, not net. Let's always be very clear. That's gross, not net. And that could be cleaning, that could be roofing, that could be any kind of countless. If you're in the Middleman to Millions course, you know what I'm talking about. And so there's this moment where everyone wants to have a easy, hey, Ericka, I want to do something online. I don't want to show up. I want to sit at my house in my pajamas. I don't want to have any friction, any challenge, any growth. And that's not good. It's just not good. It doesn't help you become a financial samurai. It doesn't. It doesn't help you become a samurai in business. There's a discipline and there's a consistency factor that made samurais great, right? When we talk about being an economic ninja, is like just being able to pay attention enough to the news to go, let me pivot left or right. Let me do simple math, right? So again, here's some simple math. Let's do simple stuff, right? When people say, Ericka, I'm really ready to start something. And I go, are you trying to start an online business, a digital business, a service business? Or you're just trying to get a higher paying job where you just show up and go in and out, right? Because the business part makes you the financial samurai. The just getting the higher paying job makes you the ninja. Hey, I'm here to do a job. I'm going to take my money and run and go do some other stuff with it. And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. This isn't a Tech Tuesday show. So go over. I see in the comments already. Go over to Breaking Into Tech. It's a free Facebook group. We have steps for you to take in there. If you have Tech Tuesday questions, save them for Tech Tuesdays. All right. So let's continue. Okay. That's why if you see me ignoring you or your questions or comments, it's not related to the topic. Stay on topic. Now you're going to say, Ericka, well, how do I do that? All right. You got online business, digital business, service business, and then you got higher paying job. Those are your crux, right? And you go, okay, Ericka, I want to have a business. Do you really want to have a business? Okay. Because today I followed up with over 350 people out of 2 of my Facebook groups. What did I follow up with it? All we did as the staff and the VAs is making sure they did what? Did you get to my LinkedIn? Did you follow the paperwork? Did you read the document we put out for the group? Do you know what type of job you want? 96% of people don't know any of those things. And so I say the first step is know what you want. The world is not kind to those who don't know what they want. We've talked about that many times on here. You should be spending your afternoons learning, educating yourself to know what you want, right? And what does that look like? What does that play like? Because if you're in business, you're literally playing a game all the time of how do I follow up with people? I love it. Thank you, John. How do I follow up with people? Now, again, 4,000 people times $200 is $800,000 a year. Again, a $2,000 service times 400 people is $800,000 a year. You determine the value of your service. Now, if you're talking about affiliate marketing, you're talking about a lesser impact of service. You're talking about just being a middleman, helping getting people where they need to go. Great. Aim for that $100 to $200 range. But in order for 4,000 people to follow up into that kind of conversation, so you get those big numbers, you're going to have to interact with 40,000 to 400,000 people, right? 40,000 to 400,000 people, right? And you're going to go, how do I get to those people, Ericka? How? Again, are you having a digital business, a service business? What type of business do you have? If you got the internet business, it's constantly producing content. It's responding to others' content. Now, this is a big deal. A lot of people get into a silo where they're just producing content. They're just in their own little bubble is what I produce. And if I ask them, hey, what are the top 10 people in your space that make content? They don't know who they are. They have no clue who they are. And I go, that's dangerous. Why is that dangerous? Because you should know at least 10 people in your space. So if something funky is going on in your space, you can reach out and call them like, hey, how's course sales been for y'all? Or if it's roofing or if it's cleaning, how's the cleaning company's been going? How's your, are you getting a lot of service calls? How's this happening? Oh, have you been getting a lot of AC calls? Yeah, us too, right? Again, you can have your finger kind of on the pulse when you know other people in your space. That's the whole point of Chamber of Commerce. That's the whole point of associations. That's the whole point of charity events. How do you become a business samurai? You solve problems and you follow up with people. If people tell you nothing else about business, it is sales and marketing, and follow up, customer follow up. That's it, all day, right? People want to make $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 a month, but yet they have no one or no system to follow up. The other day in the comment section, someone said, I went to Earn Your Leisure and I'm a business owner. I make six figures and they didn't have nothing for me. It felt like a concert. Well, first things first, did you walk inside the vendor marketplace where there's countless companies that were doing what? Providing service for business owners, providing systems for business owners. So they already told me what I needed to know. They didn't spend time where they needed to, which is the vendor marketplace. If you've already made six figures, baby, you don't need to be in the audience. You need to be walking the vendor marketplace to find the products and services that serve you. Now, secondly, I also think Earn Your Leisure should break off and do a higher end, more costly business owners who make over a certain amount of money event. I think that would be great for them. Now, here's the problem with that. Their whole marketplace is bringing the I don't know to now I know something. Entry level is always very big on any kind of poor platform. Just the entry level, how to make $100, how to make $1,000, right? If you're a business owner and you're successful, you already know what the choke points are in your business. 9 times out of 10, it's you. Let's just go there. 9 times out of 10, it's you. But you should already know about a Grant Cardone Ventures. You should already know about a Connie Smith's Systems with Connie on Instagram. You should be actively looking for associations in your niche, and they will have the same solutions I'm telling you. Like, oh, girl, I went to this. Or I went to this event and it helped me clear it out, right? Grant Cardone and a couple of people, there is a service business conference. I forgot the name, but it's a huge one and it's in Florida. And I'm talking about everybody who's in construction, HVAC, whatever, they're there. And so if you're telling me you're in service business and you're stuck at a level or you're stuck in your business and you don't know other people in your business, 1, 2, you don't have a LinkedIn, 3, you don't have an online presence, I just can't Google you. 4, you don't know the other conferences in your space. That's already told me everything I need to know. You probably have a very high paying job you've created, but not a business. Because you could literally just tell your VA, like I told mine before, I need you to go on 10times.com and go look up this many conferences. Right? And that's just the simple facts of it, right? And so a lot of that is, how do you follow up with people? How do I reach people? Facebook and YouTube are one of the biggest, easiest platforms currently. As y'all can see on YouTube, I've been shadow banned, I've been shadow blocked, I've been limited to 65,000 for various reasons. I'll be at Vid Summit, and I will also be going to YouTube's headquarters here 3 times, like once a month for the next 3 months. They're not gonna like me. Your girl might get banned from the building. But there is a algorithm that is very active. And so what do? I become a ninja. Everybody that's going to come in my space, I'm going to do what? I'm going to get your name, your email, your phone number. And I'm going to do that through what? A series of events in person. When people want to connect with me, hey, can you connect me to these recruiters? Can you connect me to these people? Yeah. Did you put your name and email here? Did you connect with me on LinkedIn? If you didn't, I can't help you. That's the bare minimum. That's the entry level bare minimum. And so your business has to have a bare minimum where people can come connect with you. And so when you do that, now responding to 100 people a day, whether it's you or your staff or automated conversations, becomes easier, right? We have forms where we've already filled out and email systems, right? We've already grown our Breaking Into Tech Facebook group to 4,000 people in less than a month, right? And I've told y'all and I've taught y'all this inside digital real estate class, how to do these things over and over again. So now we got 4,000 people. Half of them don't even know who I am. I literally introduced myself in the group. Hey, I'm Ericka Williams, started the group. They're like, who? Thanks, random lady, right? So even though my face is literally on the top of the banner, people are going to come into groups, Facebook groups, and be like, I need to extract something. And guess what? I'm going to, in turn, extract something from you. You don't get to get a free lunch here. Did that make sense? Like, people are like, hey, I want to hear about Tech Tuesday. I've got over 3 years of content. Feel free to go at it. Where's that at? I'll put it here every day. And you have to almost be that consistent with it. Every day you're responding, whether it's you, your staff, or systems, to these people, because this is a new blossoming group. And we've already had about 4 or 5 people come in and try to market crap in there. And I'm like, I know what you're doing, baby. I've been an affiliate marketer for 8 years now. Don't even try it, right? And so this is where that, how do you reach people? How do you connect with people comes in. Now, I'm going to respond to something I guess Coach Davis saying down here. And listen, I'm not getting any beefs. He said, truth be told, Ian Dunlap is not a master investor except for marketing, because community ain't it. Now, what makes the community not it? And let's be honest, if you're with Ian Dunlap, are you in the Red Panda that paid $40,000 to be in there? Because those guys are making money. Nobody's paying $40,000 to be in a group and they're not making money. That's a different level. So if you're not in that group, that's just like when people talk about Greg Cardone. I'm like, Greg Cardone has levels of like visiting his office for a day is like $2,000. His business workshops are like $5,000 to $10,000. His 360, like where they dissect your platform, redo your whole company, get your stuff all set up, it's like a $50,000 program, right? So even when people say, well, Earning Leisure didn't do this for me, it's a basic entry level event. If you are so beyond the basic, then you would have money to do what? Invest in the next level, unless you just don't know where the next level is. No harm, no foul. But again, I want you to understand, at this level in business, it's collaboration, not competition. Again, you see Rashad is talking to Tony the Closer today on Instagram Live. You saw Tony the Closer hugged him 500 at the event. I even spoke to Tony for a while, for a brief minute. All this stuff at that level is collaboration, not competition. And here's the thing, and I'm gonna say this because Coach Dave is trying to make the show go that way. If you're so dedicated to that community, right, you want to be Coach Dave, the stock man, then Coach Dave, you need to create your own Red Panda group. And when you grow it to be making $20,000, $30,000 a month, then let's come talk about it. Because that's my same response to people who complain about Earning Leisure. I'm like, if you want to put on a better event, I strongly suggest you do it. It's like when people complain about the BET Awards, when you create a different awards, right? Like every time there's a comment, I'm like, just go compete, go create. You think it's not good? You think the community doesn't work? Go create your own. Aristotle Investments has like, I don't remember how many people he said he had in there, maybe like 100,000 people at one point. I think it's down to like 5,000 or 10,000 people, but it was a crazy number. But they're paying like 125 a month. They're doing stocks. They're talking all kind of stuff. And at the end of the day, again, you think you can make a better platform, a better place. Do it yourself. See, you're not responding. You're not responding appropriately, and you got 1 minute to respond. Are you creating your own thing, Coach Dave? If you're not, I'm going to block you off this channel because I know where this is going. You want attention. I'm giving it to you. You're concerned about him being a master investor. What does that mean to you? What does him being a master investor stop you from making money? Again, this is where you have to determine, is this person and how they're responding to me in the chat, are they a financial samurai? Are they an economic ninja? Have they created their own group? Are they mentoring and helping hundreds of people themselves? Right? Think about it. Think about it. If you have no desire to create a group, then you have to shut your fucking mouth. I'm really serious. I know that was disrespectful for a second, but this is the thing. Is this person a leader? Is this person a leader? How they're doing it? Is this person just complaining? We have plenty of people in the Black and white community that all they do is complain every day. Those people are called demo people. And guess what? Their life looks like demo at the end of it because they didn't build anything. They're just attacking. I don't like how that looks. And again, we've celebrated, unfortunately, in our Black community too many times, people who are standing on the corner yelling, I don't like something. We have to stop celebrating those people. They're losers. 97% of the time. Not every percent, but 97% of the time. There's a thing called godly correction and criticism. And what you're doing is not godly correction or criticism. So you just said you had no desire to lead a group. No worries. He's not stopping you. Great. Guess what, Coach Dave? You are blocked. Have a great day. Why am I doing that? Because we're creating an environment, an atmosphere of people who are what? Doers, financial samurais, economic ninjas, people who have solutions. It don't matter if this channel will never get a meal, right? Because the techniques and tactics I use, I extract from this platform. I'm on Facebook, extracting. I'm creating another Facebook group. It's probably gonna get up to 5, 6, 7,000. As long as I got an admin, a couple admins helping me run it, I'm good. Okay? Because guess what? Most people don't want to what? Do anything. Much less the goal of most people, financial freedom in their mind is doing nothing. Oh man, I can't wait to get home so I can do a bunch of nothing. You think those people are leaders? A man complaining about another man and he doesn't want to create his own group, then what are you complaining about? We've seen people like that before. That's how Martin Luther King got shot. That's how Malcolm X got shot. We got plenty of them people. Our community doesn't need more of those people. We're good. Okay? So let me get back on track. As we gave him attention, he got full attention. Okay? He got a lot of good attention. Okay? We solved his problem. So again, let's get back to it. Real estate, business, and stocks. Right? My problem with the stock market. The problem with that conversation is this guy was saying, oh, I just put $61,000 in my self-employed 401k, and I got $22,500 from my employer and $43,000 from me as the employee. Well, first of all, that means you got to have a $43,000 left over to do so. That's a lot of money. Okay. Another part is problem with stock market. This guy was like, well, to get 8%, which he wants to get $700,000 a year. He was like, I just need $8.7 million in the stock market. What? Another one. Well, I'm getting 15% returns on my dividends, and so I'm getting about $750,000. I'm like listening. He's like, we have about 5 million put in there. Now, here's my problem with that number. The average American is not going to put $1,000 to $2,000 a month into the stock market. Even we have a lovely business friend out of San Antonio. He's doing a challenge where he's putting $5,000 a month for the rest of the year, which his goal is to do every year, which would be $60,000 a year into particular stocks to show these big dividend returns, these big returns. And I go, man, that's great. That's great of you. The average person don't have $5,000 to put in there every month. The average person doesn't have an extra $1,000, $2,000 a month. It's all a math problem, but that's why we keep encouraging what? Higher paying jobs or what? Digital business, service business, online business. So that you can create that gap. Again, when you have a business, online business, let's say it only creates $2,000 a month. That's an extra $24,000 a year. That could be life-changing for some people. It just depends on who they are. Right? So that's my problem with the stock market. Now you're looking at it from a longer wealth perspective. Again, you just need a bigger shovel if you're going to be doing it long term. People are like, well, Eric, I'm a trader. I'm a day trader. I'm a quick trader. I'm a master trader, whatever, right? Cool. Day trader, you're going to need about 25,000. If you don't have that, you're going to start with a smaller account at $500. It's going to take you some time to get where you're trying to go. Even then, talk to Diamond Dave about that. Talk to Terry Gio about that. Talk to Tide Options. We put all the kind of different groups and courses in the chat for y'all to go over there and talk to people y'all are just claiming are experts. We want you to talk to them directly, right? I'm just telling you how to be a financial samurai, how to keep pivoting and moving so you're not a dead shark in the water. You got to keep going. And a lot of people have lost that gusto to keep going. And again, there was something the guy said in the Financial Samurai that cracked me up. He was like, over 45, you have just a decrease in energy. And I know on this channel, Black people love saying, no, Black don't crack. I'm 52 and I'm dancing and doing the worm and everything else. And it's like, baby, stop. Stop. You will not have the same energy as a 25-year-old or a 30-year-old unless they have a physical disability. That's just the truth. I don't care what 45, 50-year-old man out there, he may be grip strength stronger, punch him in the face, knock the boxer out. But all that young man got to do is run in circles and you done. Okay, so let's stop that. Let's stop that dreamland that people stay in. Energy and time is important. Okay. So now I say, listen, that stock market stuff, I mean, if I got spillover, sure. It's going to give me some deductions, sure. But let's say where my other focus could be. Could be business, could be real estate. Well, let's go real estate. Simple. Let's keep it simple. Real estate. Low income housing. I just saw some houses in Augusta, Georgia for about $50K. They weren't even in bad condition at all. And the Section 8 on them were about $1,000. And so in my head, I was like, man, you get 10 of those, right? You're talking about 10 grand a month. You're talking about 120K a year. It's not a bad, that's not a bad living. Because what? The government going what? Cut the check. And a lot of people are doing what? Sitting on these wait lists. And they're getting older. And now they're in their 50s, still on a freaking Section 8 checklist, waiting and waiting. They didn't improve their life. So this is like where they're going to go. This is just simple data research, right? So you're going to have a lot of people, the government is going to be just flooding the bill so the streets aren't full of homeless people. Something for you to know, something to think about. So in my head, okay, well, 10 of those 50K properties, that's $500,000. $500,000 is getting me $120,000 a year. That's gross, not net. Man, that's like a 25% or 23% return on my money. And you didn't have to make millions of dollars to get there. This is why real estate is so popular. Something I was talking to somebody about new construction, right? And they were getting mad about, oh man, pricing. And I said, dude, if you just build, there's a cul-de-sac we're talking about. I said, just make the whole cul-de-sac duplexes. Oh, I thought I was going to do apartments and do this. And I'm like, look, the city ain't going to approve that. Just do something it will approve. It will do the cul-de-sac, right? It will do, it's doing duplexes, right? It could do that. Let's just do that. And when we did the math on the duplexes, brand new construction now, $250,000 per duplex. This is a rough estimate, of course. Let's not get too crazy with it. But it was like 10 of them, because they're going to do this in the cul-de-sacs, like doop, doop, in a circle. Y'all know what a cul-de-sac look like. I ain't going to explain that. So that right there is close to $2 million, right? In construction loans and all that good cost. But the value would be $400,000, because to buy a duplex in that area where he's building them, it's like $450,000 to buy a duplex. That ain't even cash flowing right. But that's what they're going for sale for, because for a while people quit building them in certain areas. They just did. And so now you got something that's valued at $4 million. You only put $2 million in it. You're already up 50% on equity. Great, right? On top of that, let's say you're getting $1,800 per side of these duplexes. That's $3,600. That's $3,600 a unit, a little 2-unit on 10 on one street. That's $36,000 a month. That's $432,000 a year gross. And that's off a $2 million investment. You do the math. All right. And so when people say, why real estate? I'm so sick of hearing about real estate and tenants and all this other stuff. 9 times out of 10, they move up a class A rentals, class B rentals. They get out a lot of that muck and mire. They get to an apartment, whatever, right? They move out of that, they build some townhouses. They move up a level. They're getting better quality tenants. And depending on the age, or if they put them on Section 8, they're going to get older Section 8 tenants who can't afford to get off Section 8. Like they're going to live here till they die, or at least 7 years minimum, which is really the averages. So I know I'm throwing a lot of numbers at y'all, but I want y'all to understand it's like, this is just all math. Finance is for the elite because they're willing to sit down and look at what's uncomfortable math. Many of the business owners I know are willing to take $150,000 to $250,000 a year jobs. There's one guy I know who had a startup, sold his startup. 3 years later, he's at a company making $250,000. Did he lose? No, he sold his startup for millions. He just is one of those people that has to keep getting into something new. It just is what it is. And so a lot of times you look at work as like, oh, you're having to work for a 9 to 5. No, a lot of people get to work, right? A lot of people are able to take real 3 years off with their babies and their kids and then come back and do something else. This is what it is, right? So let me go in some of these comments because I know y'all in here irritated. It's 200 people in here right now. What's up? Thank you. You shouldn't be doing bad in America. It's only a 2-year process. It really is. If you literally for 2 years, I know people right now who are on a 2-year journey where they're not buying anything, they're not traveling, they staying home, they cooking meals at home. And in the 2 years, I'm scared of what they're gonna be, because they're gonna be a beast. They're gonna have all kind of savings, robust living. I'm all like, hey, live and let live. But if you really have to lock in for 2 years, woo, and you're just cooking from home, you're managing that budget, you're throwing everything you can at a goal, man, that's a dangerous person. Thank you, Ray Gunn, for the $2 super chat. Sorry, didn't know you had Tech Tuesdays. That's right. Tech Tuesdays are on this channel. So many people are finding this channel brand new. Tech Tuesdays are on Tuesday. I know. People be looking for something. Terrell Purdy said, my investment portfolio is 3 years old and up 24% off of Red Panda entries. There you go. Earn Your Leisure has definitely made some good points and created an environment where businesses are celebrated. It's up to us to see what works for us individually. I respect them, especially as Black men. Thank you, Aaron. Approves loans. People love to debate. They just trying to like, and you think he's a this? That's like 6th grade year old shit. That's like I'm 12 years old and I don't know how to formulate my discussion. So I'm going to draw you into a bad faith argument. This is the difference of a bad faith argument. You already don't like him. You don't think he's good. You don't think he's qualified. So now you're trying to get me to change my position on do I think he's good? And I'm not one of these women you meeting at the bus stop with kids hanging off her hip, and I'm just busy and I'm gonna say yes to anything you're talking about. Sorry, no disrespect to women at the bus stop with all the kids. I understand you're tired, but a lot of these folks are on the internet, should be strengthening their mind by reading more and either creating their own products and services or creating their own environment to win instead of a group of losers. Now, what do I mean? I don't mean you're a loser, you're homeless on the street, you're having a bad life. No, that's what I mean. There are people who literally create groups where they're just complaining all the time about someone who's actually doing some productive shit. Every day, Beyonce, look this way. Beyonce is this. Beyonce is that. And it's always, every time I turn around, they've got something negative to say. And it's like, your life must really suck. Because this is all you talk about. Something negative every day. That's insane. You already know y'all block ministry. Block ministry. Putting you in there. Block games. That's what it is. Think about it. You're coming into a channel. We're talking about something productive. We're talking about becoming an economic ninja, a financial business samurai, how you can retire yourself quicker, or if you want to just do part-time work, how to do that. And here comes somebody saying, well, you think this person's a this? That is ultimate distractions. This is what most of Black YouTube is, unfortunately. You're speaking on something positive. Well, do you think Black men are, sir, we ain't talking about that. We ain't talking about that. Do you think Black women should? We ain't talking about that. We're talking about money. And the more we talk about money, the more pissed off these people get because they don't want to face their economic reality. They don't want to take a look in the mirror and go, shit, I'm in bad dire straits. I may have to make a turn in my life and my life goals. I don't want to look at it, but I have to look at it in order to make a change. And that's what they're doing. How can I distract everybody in here, all 203 people, with this random bad faith argument instead of going blah, 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 right? They don't want to participate because then they have to really self-examine. And we already know the numbers for the Black community. So it's not like, oh, no, I'm a millionaire. Okay, where you at? What city, what state? If you're Black, the percentage of you being a millionaire is you're Maryland, DC, Arlington, Virginia, Dallas, Texas, Houston, Robert Smith here in Austin. Like, come on now. Let's get it together. Get that chatty patty energy out of here. Get it out of here. I'm binge watching Billions for the first time. So much liquidity and wealth out here in real life. Listen. That's why I was talking about the clothes and the events. I know people hate me talking about their clothes because they think financial freedom for Black people is we get to wear slides everywhere and be dressed in pajamas. That's not financial freedom. It's not. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Y'all think that is financial freedom. I really apologize. The goal of financial freedom is to be able to go anywhere. Location independence, to be able to pick up. Something happens to you, you can call a lawyer. You got money for attorney. You got money to bury your uncles and them. That's financial freedom. It's a different thing than what's being marketed to us. Okay, right? Like let's cut that out. Okay. So again, even if you watch Billions, the whole point of me putting Wharton Business School on certain things, the whole point of me going to 7 galas this fall, 7, 3 in October, 3 in November, 1 in December. Why? It's because of people in the room. One of them is a Bridgington one, and it's a financial company. So everybody in that room's got some money, enough money to spend money on gowns that they ain't gonna wear, but to a bridging event one time, or that they rent from somewhere to wear one time. It's a different environment. My next duty station is Augusta, Georgia. All right, cool breeze. You need to hit me up if you see some deals out there on the streets. I got a list of like wholesalers I'm working with out there, but I'm telling you, like, you can sometimes just grab 10 to 12 properties in one area. You're good. Look, Ty Little's on here on this channel. She grabbed 4 while she was stationed at Fort Bragg. Life changing. I just finished my 2-year process, zeroed out my rehab loans on a house. I rehabbed it, rented it out. Now it's fully paid and cash flowing. Congratulations. How don't even know how much listening to you changed my life, kept me motivated when my old truck used to break down and you were live and brought me peace. Listen, there's a lot of transitioning people need to do. And when you feel, when the movement hits you, you'll know. And being in a broke down truck, that's one of them things that piss me off. Oh yeah, you can't save everybody at all. Ericka raised up off Gen X. This jarhead is going for her, staying hydrated around back. Listen, I want y'all to stay motivated. I want Gen X to stay out there ready to go. But listen, if I put you over there in Sweden or over there in Amsterdam where they riding bikes all day, they're gonna beat you up. Don't do it. But I'm glad you're taking care of your health. It's important. Tammy, oh great event, by the way. Thanks for hosting that. In spite of the wretchedness, man, Atlanta gonna have its moments. It's gonna have its moments. How would you go about getting a list of Black-owned business? There's a ton of Black directories all over online. Depending on the city or state, you literally can just Google Black-owned directories. There's literally a Black food app. There's a Black food app in my phone. I don't remember the name off the top of my head, but it's a Black food app. And I was like, oh yeah, it literally finds you the Black restaurants in certain cities. So, but part of this is understanding the quickest way for you to get to where you're trying to go. Is it starting a business? Is it, working a higher paid job? There's several people who've started service businesses, and the money kicking out from the service business has allowed them to have whole months off work, whole months traveling, right? It's allowed them to hire more staff. Again, this ideal that you need 20, 30 people to have a multi-million-dollar business is just not true. Even in the digital space, there are a lot of times people have 10, 12 people. Like Belief in Fatherhood has like 18 people on staff or something like that. Nick Bear, his supplement company, has like 25 people on staff, right? And he even is now moved to Nashville, and the headquarters is right here in Austin, right? So it's one of those things where you have to pay attention to. You don't need all that staff. Even Max Shooting, when he started realizing how big the sour strips is growing, it's a business that puts 40 million a year out, and you do the math, right? And he takes a small percentage of that as a business owner. He doesn't need 20, 30, 40 people on staff to do what? Take photos of sour strip? No, that's what those companies, the more restaurants, there you go. Thank you so much. The more restaurants you and HEBs and 7-Elevens he can get his product into, he doesn't need a ton of staff. Most of these people, what y'all gonna understand about business is you have to determine, how do you get to zero? How do I get up every day and I don't do none of this? I don't do nothing. Right? How do we get there? Is that pre-recording videos? Is that having the staff respond to people? Is it having admins respond to people? What does that look like? So then I can take all my other free mental time and do something else. But I'm never in a state of I'm doing nothing all day just to do nothing all day. That's not productive or healthy for anybody, honestly. Yep, Eat Okra app. There you go. Yep. I'm surprised they're raising a crowdfund right now. For sure. That's interesting. But yeah, so again, finance is the language of the elite only if you don't learn it. The more, you have to be careful, the more Black people learn about money and the velocity of money, to me, it still shocks me there's Black people not wanting to own their own home. Like, if you realize how many millions of people are millionaires off of renting to 64% of Black people, you'd be offended. You'd be like, ugh, pissed, right? But that's people have to determine, do they want to be economic ninja? Do they want to be a financial samurai? Or do they just want to kind of do the drone bee thing where they're kind of spaced out in space? and they just go up and go to work every day and come home and veg out and watch Netflix and do whatever the government says do every week, and that's how they live. There are people like that. But for the rest of us, we know what time it is. It's time to be economic ninja. It's time to pay attention. Pay attention enough to go, what's my quickest way to get to $150K a year? Consistent income. Okay, now I've got the consistent, whether that's a job or let's just go there. So say it's a job. How much of this income can I spill over into my stock account? If I'm still believing in stocks hardcore, how much can I peel off into a investment account? And that investment account can literally buy me some rentals, or it can buy me some access to something, right? Am I just putting money in a crowdfunding site? Am I just putting money in REITs? What am I particularly doing? Right? It's that kind of things. Here in Cleveland, the Black-owned radio station does a list of all Black businesses in the city every Tuesday. There you go. I mean, Google can be your friend. It depends on what you're looking up. There are several lists / directories online for Black-owned businesses, shops, original Black Wall Street, Black Business Click. Yeah, all those. All those. Rose Simple, you can do that if you want. You can. Anything's possible. I mean, at the end of the day is anytime you guys tell me, hey, I'm thinking of doing this one thing, I would say at that point, I'm going to find the group that is doing that. Maybe that's Mobile Home Elite, Byron and them. And then I'm going to work within that group to find land, to find spots, to find trailers. This is all like everything about business is feedback loop and reaching out to others. Inbound sales, outbound sales. All of it. All of it. That is the thing of business. Business is always, how can we solve problems for customers? And how do we follow up with them? Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, we'll see. I think we have like 3 topics we're talking about. I'm not certain. Yeah, 9 to 5, depending on the 9 to 5. And some people just need structure. Even the Financial Samurai blog, he was saying how him and his wife are just kind of been doing nothing. So here's the thing. Stay ready. This is a very important part. What is the financial income of that person? Right? Long term, when the other person's 50 or 60, will they still feel that way? Number 3, if it's just a woman owning a house, she already knows she's going to have to make time for what? Maintenance. There is this magical ideal that the maintenance and repairs magically go away because you rent an apartment. They don't. You have to have apartment renter's insurance. Things can go down in your apartment and be down for weeks, if not months. There's been horror stories of that. And so there's this kind of magical myth that I don't have to do any real maintenance if I just stay in an apartment. And the problem with that is you have adults who really think like that, even though they own a house. So that's why so many houses go into zombie house mode. The deferred maintenance house, where you can buy it for pennies on the dollar because the person never cut the grass, never took care of the roof, never took care of the AC, never took care of the sink. But they always got brand new cars sitting out front. This is my issue. A lot of the Black community, you see a rundown house and a brand new car in front. I'm from I'm from Cumberland County, but Robinson County, bunch of trailer parks, bunch of Mustangs outside. Again, we make time and we put money to what we want. Right? It's like, oh man, I have to wash my body every day. What a maintenance. It's such a headache. That's when I hear people talk about homes. I go, did you buy it right? Did you buy it at the right price? Because anything you're renting for cheap is in a cheap ass area around cheap ass people around high crime. That's just the truth. That's just even it is. You know what I mean? You're paying either way. It's very interesting when people say that to me. What's up? Even an apartment you're paying to maintain the property. I know, through the rent. That's why every year rent goes up. Again, the other day I heard a noise upstairs and I'm like, this is insane. There's nonstop noise. You know what I'm saying? Have an emergency camera. Again, Professor Oz, this is where people, 1, are not married. 2, they're not making enough money. 3, they're not putting enough money away. 4, if I'm a person living in a home, and let's say I don't have a husband, let's say I don't have kids, let's say I'm a single woman, my afternoons, at least once an afternoon should be like, what are things I could do to maintain the house? Oh, let me check my vents. Let me check this. Let me just have a checklist that I follow once a month, like 1 weekend a month. Like this, some of the stuff is like common sense. You know what I'm saying? It's like like a 1, 2, 3. I'm a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, make it easy on yourself. Own my home last 30 days, AC unit. Yeah. I mean, it's just, again, it's just structure thing. And I get it. Some people are from up north and they come down south. They're like, oh my God, I got to cut grass. That's why builders down south are starting to build like townhouses, especially in Houston, especially in Atlanta. Oh, I don't want to cut grass. I don't want to cut grass. Okay, there's HOA. They'll make sure your grass is cut. Live in a townhouse, live in a 55 plus community. They'll make sure your grass is cut. There's a solution to every excuse, every pushback anybody gives. There's always a solution. I just told you, I looked up Nashville. Half the houses in Nashville are 175 to 230. Out of the 4,000 houses for sale, a majority were under 250. But people in Nashville will have you believe, oh, the houses, oh my God, they're so expensive. We can't afford to breathe or live. You're like, nah, you're riding around in a pickup truck that's $50,000 a year. That's why you can't afford to buy a house. Some of the stuff is like, be an economic ninja. Like, take full accountability of your situation. Because what did I just tell y'all? Again, money loves speed. Wealth loves time. Poverty loves indecision. So by the time someone finally decides, I really want to buy a home, and they're 55, 65, 75, you're looking at them like, what? Huh? What? You know what I mean? Like, and that may just be the best economic decision for them at that age, but 9 times out of 10, at that point, you might as well just go rent at the 55 plus up. Unless you plan on living there to retire. You know, these are just real common sense stuff. There's seasons to life, and there's seasons to work. There's seasons to full-time work and part-time work. There's seasons to have children, right? There's all kind of songs about seasons of life, and some people are going to be coming late to the party, and that's fine. Places like Atlanta are moving very fast. Places like Dallas and Austin, you have people up here completely upset because the economy is moving fast, and they have decided they don't want to learn and unlearn, right? If you think owning a home is an old ideal, tell it to people who bought a house in 2019 and now it's up $200,000, depending on the city and state. Like, only in Austin did it come down. I'm like, I just know 2 people like, hey man, I got like 200,000 equity. What should I do? I'm like, you can either sell the home or you can stay in it. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? You have to think about it. You just have to think about it. It's up to you. But there's very, very quick pathways to get this stuff done. They're building them boxes for apartments now. Yeah. My parents and grandparents had rentals all this time. I've been doing housework since I was 5. Girl, I know you're tired. I'm sorry. Like, me and my son can do drywall and paint really well. Hey, that's a skill. Learn from my parents. My father was talking about his old truck, but never talks about the multiple properties they own. To them, multiple property ownership is just a given. Again, it's a mindset. And when you really, it's like playing the game of Monopoly. I really want y'all to understand. Everybody's not going to play. Everybody's not going to go, and everybody's not going to win, right? That just is what it is. If you're like, no, I want to live in a nice apartment and hear noise all over me and dog and park and noise, do that. Live that. Now, what are you going to do with your excess income? That's all I'm talking about. Like, are you going to dig yourself out of the financial hole that it doesn't matter where you rent? You want to move to Miami when you're 80 years old and live in an apartment? Cool. I'm all for it. But do you have, right? Do you have a plan for the excess capital to go somewhere and make you some returns? There's a company here in Austin. I am heavy on them. They give 10.57% returns on a dividend, and they're a gas electrical company. And I just keep throwing money in them. So it's not financial advice. It's just me as a person I'm here and I can drive by the office and see it. Like a crazy person. Like, I see y'all. Just making sure y'all still working over there. Reading your financials. You know what I'm saying? That's very simple. Like, it's a local investment that I can keep just throwing money in, and I'm going to get 10% returns on my money via the stock market. Like, let's not make it harder. Make it easier. And if I sit here and tell you need 1,000, 2,000 extra months that you're going to be throwing into this account, oh, I don't have it, Ericka. I don't have it. Okay, well, what do we need to do to figure out how to get you that? What adjustments do we need to make in your lifestyle? Is there a position you need to take? Is there a different job in your future? Because I just showed you 96% of all companies have less than 2 employees. 26.5 million firms have 10 to 20 employees. So you can keep just going. What do you mean? You can just keep moving. You go in a small office to small office. Let's not make it complicated. They don't want to learn. Plenty of people who retire sell their houses and buy a smaller place to live out their lives until they transition. Facts. People still can buy for 55. I never said they couldn't, but 9 times out of 10, when I'm talking to people in comments, in events, in comment sections on Facebook, they're 45, 55, 65 wanting to buy the biggest house of their life at a time where they're only going to work for another 10 years. Their time would be better spent finding a smaller house as their teenagers are aging out and leaving, and then doing what? Taking the rest of their money and investing it. That's all I'm saying. Don't take it personal. You'd be surprised common sense isn't common. It never is. I've heard too many people say they rather rent or have a townhouse than cut grass. I wonder if they know they can pay somebody to do that. I mean, the amount of I have to cut grass, it's insane to me. I'm like, y'all, like there's literally, my friend was saying how there was these yards fell. The fences fell from the storm. And he's like, you can literally see across like 10 yards. Nobody was in their backyard. They didn't have fire pits. They never go in the backyard. And to me, that's so sick and unhealthy. Like, ugh, that's unhealthy. That's unnatural. If you're just sitting in a house like a little cave bat every day, that's some weirdo shit. It just is. I'm sorry. It's not healthy for your skin, your body, your vitamin D levels, or your feet. It's not healthy. It's just not healthy. And so even though people have a yard, sometimes they don't even use it. Right? And so this mindset of like, oh, I just don't want to cut grass. I just don't want to cut grass. It's, oh my God, the grass. It's like, depending on where you live, grass only growing for 3 months. I live in Texas. This is a 10-month ordeal. It's growing forever. It's growing in November. It's growing in January. Right? So them people can have more of an argument. People in Florida, they can, if they want to complain about grass, I'm okay with them complaining about grass because their grass grows all year long too. But most people live in places that are cold. So you're like, what are you talking about? Let me see. Massachusetts is becoming unaffordable to buy homes. I'm thinking of moving south, but don't know where. You should visit first. You should do some road trips and you should visit. If you cannot afford to do road trips and visits, do not just move blindly. I never recommend that for anybody. You should be in a financial position where you can go visit a place. And if that means you have to book it out 2 months in advance, right? I went and looked online on Google Flights 2 months in advance to fly home to my family for the holidays. It's $97. But you know what that requires me to do? Not be indecisive. That requires me to make a plan. That requires me about what? The tickets in advance. That requires me to block it out on my schedule. Most people are living like, oh, I don't know. And I need you to be a ninja. I need you to be chopping in the neck plans and business activities. I don't need you to be like, oh my God, oh, help me, Lord. I don't know what to do. No, I need you to be a ninja. I need you to be a samurai. I need to take a sword and chop and get your life like you want it to. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God. I had shared walls at this one apartment. I could hear the neighbors every night. I was like, this is insane. I would go crazy if I lived in New York. When I bought, the first thing mentioned to me while yard work, I'm like, huh? So you miss building wealth because of grass? Honey, it's any excuse will do. It's like the toilet may break, the AC may break, the electric bill. You're like, just coming up with anything. You're just saying anything right now. Just stop it. It's insane. Exactly. In the Midwest, you cutting grass maybe 2 months, if that. I've owned a house for 16 years and never mowed a blade of grass. Oh, damn. People, so true. People go in their backyards are surprised what's back there. Yeah. That's why alligators and all kind of stuff be getting people backyards. It's insane. Yeah, planning is everything. Planning is everything. So listen, that's my 2 cents. That's my show for y'all. The truth is, if you're in any of my Facebook groups, I'm gonna recommend you follow the steps. If you're in my breaking into tech face group, I have a link in the beginning. It already tells you, add me on LinkedIn, follow these steps. If you haven't followed these steps, I'm not gonna waste my time or waste your time, right? Same thing with my other groups. It's very easy to win. It's very easy to connect. It's very easy to get forward in life. And this is why affiliate marketing makes so much money, because so many people are like, where? How? Right? For years, we talked about home down payment assistance programs. Every couple of days in the community wall, I've been posting the link for all the states, home payment down assistance programs. And it's like $1. You can buy it for $1, depending on the state you pick. And people are still like, I just can't find anything. can't find it. You will always make money on social media and internet and online businesses telling people common sense things. Quick, common sense things over and over again. You'll make lots of money. Saying anything. They'll say anything. They'll say anything at this point. So anyways, you guys, this is your girl Ericka from the Classic Home Blog. I hope that was helpful. Tonight is a blue moon. It will not be this blue again till 2032. So my strongest suggestion to y'all is please go out your house tonight and check out the blue moon. It just means it's a very clear, bright moon. So again, I'm getting ready for that. So I'm going to go out of here. Read this last comment. What's funny is if you mow the grass on an empty lot near, you could own it for $1. Yeah, a lot of cities have those programs. What they gonna do with it though? They gonna build anything? They ain't. But I get you. This is true. Anyways, you guys, this is your girl Ericka, Classic Home Blog. Have a wonderful evening.